So I know there's a lot of people wanting information about Outlaws. The Outlaw 11.5 by Perception. I have 2 of them. I thought I'd do a video. I've been using them for about a year. I have a 2020 and a 2021. And I wanted to go through some stuff that I like, what I don't like, some stuff that maybe could be improved. And supposedly there's rumors of a pedal drive version coming out. I don't know when, but there is rumors of it. I do have the seat. Got to put it back on. So we can get the full look of it. I guess I'll start with the handles. It's got nice molded in handles. The back one's kind of hidden. It's got a big plate, big flat plate area, so you can add a power pole or trolling motor or other accessories. Front handle. It's a nice molded in handle. The kayak weighs 78 pounds, which isn't too heavy for this size of kayak. 11.5 feet. I think it's 36 inches wide. Hopefully I'm right about that. But there are spots where you can add hatches if you want to add hatches. I'm personally trying not to add hatches, because I feel like it creates another spot for water to get in. You can add a hatch here. It's got these ports right here for solo mounts, which I haven't used one. It's just a little ball mount, like a ram mount, that just screws in. The tracks on here are nice and beefy. I wish they would have used more than one screw on each side to hold them in. I feel like it's, I don't know. I like the catfish. I'm scared if I put a rod holder on there, it might pull it off, or and track accessories like track rod holders I don't really trust either. I like them bolted in with backing. The channels, all these channels, and it's going downward, so all the water, if water gets in, it drains out. There's no issues with drainage on here. The only spot that doesn't drain as well as the rest of the kayak is this spot right here. That's because the channels are here, the drain is right here, and this is flat. So if you get water in here, it's going to stay in here. And if you put anything up here, you want to put it in a dry bag, or if you put something that you don't care about getting wet. I just have a rope up here. I use it to pull it around if I launch it, and I just leave it in the water. I just wrap the rope around something or pull it to me or whatever I need to do with it. I also use this to help me stand up sometimes. Let me get into these. This was a nice idea. I thought they were really cool until I tried to use them. They work if you want to put one rod on each side, but if you put 2 rods on one side, they clash with each other. They'll touch each. When you try to pull one out, if you're not careful, you'll pull the other rod out and it just falls out into the water. Or not all rods sitting here perfectly either. Like if you got ones with short butts and they just, I don't know, I'd have to get a rod and show you. So if you put 2 big rods in here like I have in here, which is catfish rods, as you can tell, they don't really fit too good in there. They have to fit a certain way or they don't work. When you pull them out, if you're not careful, you'll grab it, you'll yank it out. Or if this is turned, say it's turned this way. I can't get it to do it now, but especially if you're using spinning reels, these handles will catch the other reel while you're pulling it out, and it'll pull the whole reel out and it'll fall into the water. I've gotten lucky and got my reel back, my rod and reel back, because it opened the bell and I had a float on it. So I used the float to pull my rod up. I had to pull all the line out of it to get the rod back up, but I got it back up. Also, these things right here are for securing your rods, but if you got tall rods, they don't work. If you got a short rod, which I don't know if I have any out here or not, if you have a short small rod, it has to sit right here. See what I mean by right here? If I stick another one right here, when I pull this out, it will yank the other rod with it. Not a good design. For short rods, this works, but for tall rods, that don't work. So if you plan on using 2 rods, you might want to strap the one that you don't plan on using, strap it around with this, and then you have the other one sitting in there so you don't lose your rod. They make saddlebags that go right here. I haven't used any. I haven't bought them. I feel like they're kind of pricey for what they are. I may be wrong, but I just use you can go to Walmart or Harbor Freight or whatever and buy you an ammo can that'll fit right there perfectly. I have one. I have an ammo can that fits right here perfectly, and I take a strap and I'll go diagonal with it. I got a light on there, I got a 12 volt, and then my fish finder plugs in there whenever I use it. These nettings, they're pretty good. The other one on my other kayak, it's about a year old and it still looks pretty much new, which I don't leave it in the weather. With the seats, there's a pretty nice seat. It's really lightweight, but the really lightweight part worries me, especially with bigger people or longevity, because you can tell this is my seat off my 2021 and this is the seat off my 2020, and the seat off my 2020 has cracks. It has cracks and it's bent, because if you're heavier, or like me, I'm not even well, I am heavy, but I wouldn't say I'm huge. But if I sit on this seat and I sit on it kind of hard, it puts a lot of pressure right there where there's not a lot of support. And this is really thin gauge aluminum. I have had them loosen up on me. The seat is decent. It's not the best seat I've ever had, but it's not bad. After a while, I mean, you'll want to get up and stand up, and you can stand on here, and you can stand and fish. This thing's not had this one's probably had 10 trips on it. The padding's coming up. It's not sticky anymore. This is the bottom of it. This is the bottom. This is what the back of the handle looks like. These are your drag pads. But you want to keep an eye on them if you drag it, because if you wear them down, you'll eventually wear into the kayak if there's not enough pad to drag on. And also make sure these are tight, because mine were loose. I think it was letting just a small amount of water get into the hole. I've seen people take a trolling motor mount, trolling motor mount, flip it upside down, put the two little screw pieces here, and have the top part on the flat part of the top, and use it like that without drilling holes or anything. The scuppers, they got nice channeling. You don't get water coming up through them whenever you're if you're just regular use. If you use a trolling motor or an outboard, you might want to put scuppers in, or put scuppers in the ones that you get the most water in. It's got a mount for, it's got an area you can mount a transducer. My transducer sticks out farther than this does, just a little bit. I feel like that's a con, because I could easily hit it with a log or a down tree in the water, or beaching it. I feel like that's the issue. They do give you a nice channel to the front small area where you can run your transducer cord through here. The bottom looks good, the hole looks good. The tri hole is, it's basically a tri hole. It's good for standing if you're not super tall or really heavy. You'll be perfectly fine with it. Like, I think it's rated for 425. It's either 425 or 450. And this is the hole that comes up. This will be a perfect plate to buy a solo mount for right here, or add you a track to mount your fish finder, and then put it on one of them extension arms so you can bring it up a little closer to you. Because I have mine, I've used it on the track, but I really don't like it beside me because it gets in my way. So it fishes good. It paddles. I wouldn't say it's hard to paddle, but it's not easy to paddle either. It's really good for slow rivers or short trips. If you paddle in long distances, you're gonna get tired. And on windy days or just a light breeze, this thing will, a light breeze will push this thing across the water very easy. So you'll need an anchor trolley. I haven't put one on either one of mine. Would I buy another one, or is this worth buying? It's definitely worth buying. There is cons. Every kayak has cons though. I haven't seen a perfect one yet. Even the ones that are pretty much close to being perfect, the biggest con with those is that they're too heavy, or a couple of other small little detail things. But before I get off topic, like I said about the draining, the cup holder drains, this drains into here, and it all drains out. So it drains really, really well. I forgot to mention that. It's got deep channels. I think that covers everything. for a kayak that you can find for $650 to $750 is definitely worth picking up, especially if you plan on using it for fishing. Well, that concludes my video. I hope this gave you some information that could help you choosing your next kayak. I'll see you in the next video.